I have a friend who's learning Spanish, and the other day I was working with him a little bit, and I asked him to translate this sentence. ¿A qué sabe el pollo? He looks at it and he's like, well, saber means to know. So is it saying like, what does the chicken know? Or what does the chicken know? Something like that? And I said, no, it means, what does chicken taste like? And he goes, what? Where did that even come from? Where did you get that from that sentence? That doesn't make any sense. And that little conversation with him inspired today's video. So today I'm going to be talking about how to translate tastes like, smells like, and sounds like. Saber is a verb you may already be familiar with. It means to know, but it also means to taste, as in the flavor of food. Does it taste good? Does it taste sweet? Does it taste like chicken? La comida sabe bien. The food tastes good. La comida sabe mal. The food tastes bad. And I just want to point something out there. If you're using this verb to say that something tastes good, you're going to be using bien and not bueno. El pollo sabe bien. The chicken tastes good. You can use saber with adjectives, just not bueno, okay? For example, you could say something like, la bebida sabe un poco dulce. The drink tastes a little sweet. La bebida sabe agria, sour, or amarga, bitter. Just make sure that your adjective agrees in number and gender with the noun, all right? Now let's talk about how to translate to taste like something, okay? Now you may be thinking I'm going to say something like saber como, and then whatever it is, but that's not correct. In Spanish, it's going to be saber a, and then whatever it is. Because in Spanish, things taste to something. They don't taste like something. And if you think of it that way, you're going to remember it. It's also a good idea when you're learning verbs to go ahead and include the preposition with the verb on your word list, especially if it doesn't match English. And the preposition here is a. Don't get all freaked out by the English grammatical terms. I can assure you that one of the most difficult aspects about learning Spanish as an adult is having to learn or relearn the English grammatical terms. So on my word list, I might have saber, means to know or to taste, and then my next one down might be saber a, means to taste like. Las ancas de rana saben a pollo. Frog legs taste like chicken, or so they say. I don't know, I haven't had frog legs. La sopa sabe a pescado. The soup tastes like fish. El pollo sabe a pollo. Chicken tastes like chicken. It's a pretty easy construction to use, right? If you want to ask someone what something tastes like, we're just going to be starting our question with a qué, because literally what we'll be saying is, to what does it taste? A qué sabe el pollo? What does chicken taste like? El pollo sabe a pollo. Chicken tastes like chicken. Let's move on to our next one, to smell like. Let's start with the verb we're going to be using, and that is oler, and that is to smell. This is an irregular verb, meaning the conjugations do not follow the normal pattern. Here they are in the present tense. This screenshot came from wordreference.com. I really recommend that site. If you're learning Spanish, it has a lot of neat features. One of those features is that you can look up the conjugations for any verb, all the conjugations. So, very useful tool. Here are a couple of examples just using oler. Huele bien, it smells good. Huele mal, it smells bad. I just want to point out that you're using bien here and not bueno. If we want to translate that something smells like something else, we're going to be following that same pattern that we saw with saber, and it's going to be oler a, and then whatever it is. So something smells to something, not like something. Huele a basura. It smells like garbage. La sopa huele a pescado, pero sabe a pollo. The soup smells like fish, but tastes like chicken. See, use both the verbs in there. If we want to make this a question, we're going to do it the same way we did with saber. ¿A qué huele? What does it smell like? ¿A qué huele? ¿A qué huele la sopa? What does the soup smell like? Huele a pescado. It smells like fish. Let's move on to the last one of the day and talk about how to translate sounds like. Well, first, let's do our verb, sonar. So by this point, you might be thinking, okay, I think I got the pattern, Paul. It's going to be sonar, a, and then something, right? Not exactly. You can say sonar a, but it doesn't mean that something sounds like something else. It actually means it sounds like, as in, it seems like. Suena pretexto. It sounds like an excuse, or it seems like an excuse. In fact, you could have just said parece un pretexto. It seems like an excuse. So that's not the one we want for this, right? We want to be able to say that something sounds like something else. In order to do that, we're going to be using sonar como. And to English speakers, that makes more sense anyway, right? Cuando Maria ronca, suena como una motosierra. When Maria snores, it sounds like a chainsaw. Poor Maria. Pobrecita, ¿verdad? Here's another example. Esa palabra suena como gato en francés. That word sounds like cat in French. So you think you got it? It's not too tough, right? Let's do a quick review. Tastes like, saber a. Smells like, oler a. Sounds like, sonar como. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, just do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And until next time, hasta luego.